Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to senior night here at Westwood High School. Tonight we honor our senior players and cheerleaders. In a moment they will greet their family members. But first, a very quick message on behalf of Westwood. First, to the parents. Thank you so much for all you have done, watching and supporting your boys from the toddler years to suddenly the young men that they have become. As they come towards the end of their Westwood High School career. Again, we thank you so, so much. Here's to the parents. And to the seniors, we have loved to watch you play. And as your high school career draws towards its conclusion, we want you to know we are so proud of you, and we wish you the best of luck in all of your future endeavors in Westwood and beyond. Seniors, Westwood will always be a part of you, and you will always be a part of Westwood. Let's hear it for our seniors. Without further ado, let's begin with our senior basketball players one at a time. We will start with number 23, Captain Leo Shirlando. Representing the parents, good brothers, and professional. Seniors, Hopkinton and Westwood. Next up, the Wolverines, number 3, Baz Ganson. Representing the parents, Victor and Natasha, and brother Vic. Next up, the Wolverines, number 24, Brady Lipton. Representing the parents, Dan and Rachel Lipton. Next up, the Wolverines, number 5, and Captain Ty Giddell. Representing the parents, Jack and Beth, and brothers Cole and Deacon. Final senior for the Wolverines tonight, Captain number 2, Rob. Presenting from Mother Jacqueline Alejandro and Jose Polanco, and Sister Angela Polanco, and Uncle Alexis Alejandro, and Grandfather Juan Alejandro, and Grandmother Rosa Alejandro. They are Jenny Valdez, Claire Gillette, Elizabeth Lowney, Richard Bryant, and Leilani Matos, your Westwood senior cheerleaders. Seniors coming back for the cross down. This one, parents come back for one final picture. At this point, we just do what Mrs. Mount tells us to do. We need parents back one more time for one final group picture, please. Thank you, Westwood Seniors.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. I wasn't the star quarterback or the Tri-Valley League MVP. I was the guy in the back of the room, learning from the best, filling in where my team needed me. And as a team, we won 2 Super Bowl championships. These years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, the backups, the younger players, they complete the team. And that's the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, built on discipline, sacrifice, and trust, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, not just the All-Stars, but every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me, it built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Good evening, Westwood, and welcome to Bader Gymnasium for TVL Large Basketball between the visiting Hopkinton Hillers and your Westwood Wolverines. Evan Cartermino, Morgan Donahue here for the big-time matchup. As Evan, we are coming down to crunch time. The last couple games of the season where teams fighting after and trying to win earn a TVL Large Championship. And you did the math, so walk us through a little bit of what you were able to uncover.
All right, looking at the standings right now here for the Tri-Valley League Large. It's a two-way tie right now for first place between Westwood and Dedham. Dedham taking on Norwood at 6:30 in Norwood today. Westwood taking on Hopkinton, which is sitting at 3 and 4 in the TVL. Norwood and Holliston just a game behind each, so these next 3 TVL games that each team has are going to be crucial. A win tonight for the Wolverines and a loss for Dedham could mean that Westwood could secure their potentially secure a portion of the TVL Large Championship. If both teams win tonight, that sets up a TVL Large Championship here Tuesday in Bader Gymnasium when the Marauders come to Westwood. So this game has major implications. And if you're Hopkinton, you're looking to do something that Westwood did last year, which is go on a 3-game win streak to close out the season and steal a TVL championship. It's still mathematically possible. Everyone's in it. The only team that isn't in it right now is Ashland. But 5 of the 6 TVL large teams are still in play. Every game matters today, Morgan.
No question about it. And a great opportunity. We got a packed crowd here at Bader Gymnasium, so this is going to be a playoff feel kind of game. You know, it was senior night, so we want to give a shout out to the seniors. Seniors were honored before the game, and we had that coverage of both the boys basketball, obviously, players, but also girls cheerleaders. So the boys basketball players, Robert Liriano Alejandro, Baz Ganson, Ty Pindell, Leo Chalungwa, Brady Lipton, and then for the cheerleaders that joined them for a team, a complete senior photo, was Jenny Valdez, Claire Delea, Elizabeth Lowney, Ricky Bryant, and Leilani Matos. It's awesome. So great day and night to celebrate them and their contributions over the last several years, in helping make these programs better than it was before they got there. And that's what seniors are all about, showing the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, you know, the roots of Westwood's athletics culture, winning, competition, being a good teammate, and making Westwood proud. And that's something we are certainly, we are as a community of our athletes, and all the great, amazing things going on right now. Which, clock winding down, it looks like both teams, this is the earliest I've ever seen them. Almost, they're ready before the clock's even expired for opening introductions.
Well, we are 20 minutes roughly away from standard time to do the senior night ceremony, so I can imagine both teams are itching to go. This is a big game.
So they're ready to go. We're going to send it down to Jay Risha, the voice of the Wolverines. He's going to kick off tonight's opening introductions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Bader Gymnasium here at Westwood High School for this evening's Tri-Valley game between the visiting Hopkinton Hillers and your Westwood Wolverines. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. Westwood espouses the highest ideals of sportsmanship and promotes the spirit of competition. Please show sportsmanship tonight to players, coaches, officials, and to the fans. Understand that inappropriate behavior will not be tolerated here. Thank you. And now introducing tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the Hopkinton Hillers. Number 5, Connor McNally. Number 10, Gavin Sharp. Number 15, Rocco Spinelli. Number 25, Connor
back, folks. We are almost ready to get underway here. Both teams get back on the court. Starting lineup starting with the visiting Hopkinton Pillars. Number 5, Connor McNally. Number 10, Gavin Cho. Number 15, Rocco Spinelli. Number 25, Connor Wynn. Number 35, Patrick Riley. Starting lineups for the Wolverines, all seniors, Evan.
Yep, that's always a standard for a senior night.
And you know, it's even. 5 seniors, 5 starters.
Perfect.
You know, it worked out perfect. Robert Liriano, Alejandro, Baz Ganson, Ty Pindell, Leo Chalangwa, Brady Lipton. Chalangwa take the opening tip for the Wolverines, going up against Gavin Cho. And the Hillers come away with it. They waste no time. Looking to get their offense going. Cho settles it. Give it inside to Riley. Riley kicks it out. 3-point attempt, but foul called on the Wolverines. See who that was on. It was on Robert Liriano. Alejandro called for the foul. And Spinelli's going to shoot 3. We haven't seen too many of those this year.
I don't think we've seen any this year. They're rare. Three foul shots.
Den certainly active early here.
I was expecting a little more from them early on, but they went easy this
Very moderate on that first shot.
Expect that to ramp up throughout the game. Haven't heard from the mini den yet.
No, they're up there too. They got a pretty good presence tonight too. That's twice the size as it was last game.
A good turnout tonight.
It's the second. Oilers on the board, 2-0 here, 15 seconds in. Big time matchup. Wolverines went on the road a couple weeks back to take on the Hillers, and they won big. I'm going to say a travel call on Robert. He is perplexed. And so, that looks pretty clean.
I didn't see what they saw there, but one of the keys for the Wolverines to here is I got here at the end of the freshman game and these JV game. I watched through it all. The big thing that's going to be the key that Westwood Wolverines have to do is off the 6 and 3 there. Watch the fouls. This is a team that can draw fouls pretty well. They're well coached on that, so they're going to have to be careful of that throughout the game.
Yep. Spinelli for 3. He's got 5 quick ones. As Rob's got the double team going, they call a foul. It's on number 10, Gavin Cho. And the Hillers get their first team foul of the game. Both teams with a foul each.
They're playing smart basketball too. They have Bobby Buckets double pressed early. They know, they've watched the tape. I'm sure you mentioned
You got a guy screening him already, so he's literally, if he walks into the auditorium, he's following him into the auditorium.
You got to imagine that's what a lot of these teams, when they've seen Bobby Buckets once this season, they know that he's dangerous.
Buckets! Speaking of which, it's a 3 for the effort.
Wasn't double teamed that time. That's exactly why they're doing it.
Nice pick by Brady Lipton to create some space. Buckets buries it. Joe for 3. No good off the front rim. Takes a high bounce off the top of the backboard. Westwood ball. The Den getting a little bit louder as Westwood starting to get their game going. Lipton. Hand it back to Pindell as Pindell goes over across the court to Buckets. And there's a double team, which tried to find Lipton, went through his hands. Now over the shoulder pass and catch to Nugent, and then a bucket for Joe.
Hopkinton's playing fast-paced defense early, but I don't know if that's necessarily a sustainable thing too. You have 2 or 3 guys. Eventually, Westwood's going to find those open guys, and they're going to get clean looks.
They're going in all in on the full court press. And this is something certainly designed after how Westwood played them on the road. When Westwood played them in Hopkinton, Westwood dominated, and it was a lot of transition buckets. So they're trying to disrupt that clearly tonight. So a lot of film study that came from that game. And you know what? They're causing some turnovers, and the Hillers going the other way and add another 2 to then take a 6-point lead, as they've been all over on, just Wolverines trying to move the ball and been able to cause a bunch of turnovers that they've turned into offense. Liriano Alejandro draws a double team, even after they've made it past half court, so they're sticking on the double team no matter where he goes. Chalengwa puts it back.
That's what happens though when you have those double teams. You're leaving guys open under the hoop, and those are easy buckets that they can make. Guys like Chalengwa, Mindell, that's their bread and butter.
Gotta find those guys because they're gonna be open when you see the double teams. Corner three is good. That is a nice shot by Connor Wynn. For three, puts the Hillers back up 7. Mindell looking inside for Chalengwa, no good, but it gets in the hands of Lipton and puts it back.
Big play by Lipton there. He was right on time. That was almost another turnover for the Wolverines, but that turned into 2 for them.
Oh, Chalengwa with the steal. Throws it over up ahead to Bobby. Yes! And a foul!
There's life in the Bader Gymnasium now.
And we got a big crew here for the Liriano Alejandro crew celebrating. They have t-shirts on tonight for Bobby Buckets. And I have a picture of it, and we'll read it out. So Alexis Alejandro, class of 2004. You're behind me at Westwood. He's here, proudly representing and celebrating Rob. But the front picture is Rob, celebrating when he's flexing, and then on the back it says Bobby Buckets. So Liriano Alejandro, 6 points here early. 4 minutes 57 remaining here in the first quarter. And the Wolverines now within 2. It was 7 points about 30 seconds ago, and now the Wolverines within 2.
Oh, this is going to be a shootout. I think both these teams know that the TBL's on the line here. On top of that, if you're Hopkinton, play with a little chip on your shoulder. These, we were talking about beforehand, the senior night ceremonies. This team chose you to celebrate on, and hey, what sort of momentum will that carry for you come playoff times? If you're saying, hey,
Mindell for 3. That is something that he has made a regularity for his game this year, is the threes. It's been a big addition to the offense has been the Mindell threes.
It's huge. If you can get a third person who can hit threes, we have 2 guys in Ortiz and
in and out.
Bobby Buckets, who are really big on the threes, but you get a third guy in your rotation that can hit
Zaneski as well.
Zaneski too, off the bench. But when you have 3 or 4 guys who can run that offense, you're dangerous from anywhere. But no, Hopkinton's playing motivated. We mentioned that earlier. If you can come in and get a win on on Westwood senior night, that's huge for your team momentum-wise. But Westwood, starting to find their groove.
Foul called on the Hillers. No question about it. I mean, it's always a distraction at senior night, no matter what. It's just a lot of stuff before you get tipped off or the puck has been dropped. But the key to that is get off to a quick, get in your game, get your game going quickly.
They did.
And they did. And now Hillers have 3 team fouls with 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter.
We mentioned the foul trouble. Westwood kept it clean since that first one. They had, I think, the first one early on, and they've played clean. We saw that in the fourth quarter a couple weeks ago. Same situation, played clean for 4 minutes as Mindell takes another 3, but that's what's going to be the key.
Ball on the ground. Chalengwa battling for it, but the Hillers battle for it. Goes out of bounds, going to be a Westwood ball. So you got to credit the effort of Chalengwa, who was able to rattle that ball loose and get the turnover, and out of bounds ball now going to be in the hands of Westwood. Mindell gonna inbound it. Jansen been a very underrated player for Wolverines. One of the leaders when it comes to effort, when it comes to whatever is needed to win, he will do it. He's been outstanding on defense. He's gonna have an open look for 3. Goes off the back rim, rebound by Mindell, ball snatched loose. And up ahead goes the Hillers. Did you have enough room to lay it up? No, but foul called. Going to go to the line for the Hillers is, I believe, number 24. No, 14, Josh Kim.
Warren, I was just about to say, we've seen the seniors in for about 6 minutes now, or 5 minutes at this point, but we're about to see our first substitutions with
Ortiz and Rodman.
Rodman. So. Played a lot of minutes. Normally we see substitutions around the 5-minute, 4-minute mark, so they got some extended time. I expect to see that rotation of our 5 seniors back on the court sometime tonight, but it's a huge now get some of the guys off the bench. Get your seniors rested, get Schwangwell rested, and see if you can get them ready for a shootout.
Both no good. Westwood ball as it goes out of bounds on the Hillers. So that's a good foul.
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying Westwood Hopkinton ball. Oh, we got a foul called. That's going to be on Westwood. It looks like it's going to be on Pindell for a push. That's Westwood's 3rd team foul. The Hillers have 4, unless that's an error on the scoreboard. I don't think I remember a 4th one happening.
I don't either, but I could be wrong. But regardless, we kind of jinxed a little bit, saying it's been a clean game so far. We've seen a bunch of back-to-back fouls in succession. So, it's still the key, though. Keep playing clean as best you can.
Driving, but no good. Rebound, in and out. Rebound by Robert. He's got 2 on him now. 3 was shadowing. 2, not a problem. Still able to tiptoe, but then Hiller's able to come away with it. Driving is Kim. Lipton on the defense and able to get it in. It's Kim. It's an impressive bucket.
It's hard fought, and the thing that is working for the Hillers when they do this full court press is they're forcing the Wolverines to make passes that are too tight, and they're just finding the windows and getting turnovers.
Lipton. So it's a foul on Westwood. Ty does not like it. Neither does Coach. Coach, a nice fresh haircut tonight. Got the nice fade. Nothing better than a fresh haircut and some Jordans.
I think he went to Top Legend.
I think he may have. I mean, that's where you get the fresh fades around here. Me speaking for myself.
Right, right.
As a volunteer that has nothing to do with, that is not on any payroll for Western Media Center. Did I cover everything I need to cover?
I think so.
Robert driving it up court. Hillers step out of bounds, going to stay with Westwood.
Hillers are a fast-paced team too. They have speed. I think part of the reason why they can keep. I'm surprised they're sticking with the full court press, but seeing this, they seem like a well-conditioned, well-trained team. They got a lot of speed, and they can play that type of defense, which says a lot about your team.
That actually took a crazy bounce. It almost went in off a front rim. And then a whistle on the court. Is that a foul on Westwood?
I think it's a jump ball.
Yes,
or
yes.
It's going to be possession for.
It was a jump ball, arrow in Westwood's favor. With a minute 45 left, and then picked off by the Hillers. That's picked off by McNally. McNally, though, unable to get it to his Hiller teammate. A little too much zip on that one. Goes out of bounds. Westwood got to inbound it right in front of the bench. Ortiz. First chant of the night from the den.
First of many coming.
Thought I heard soccer. So I don't know what was included with soccer. It must be a fellow soccer player because we've got a bunch of soccer players in the den tonight. That's a deep 3, no good. Driving or jumping rebound, but stolen by the Wolverines. Ortiz walking it up. Kicks over to Robert. Robert settles it, then kicks back out. Over to Ortiz. Ortiz takes a couple steps in, then shoots. Just short. Coming away with it is McNally. McNally gonna look in the corner. Big shot. Driving is Spinelli, and it's a travel. He does not like it. The official does not like the effort of him giving him the ball.
Yeah,
you gotta hand it to the official when you have that foul. You know, they do not like when you just leave it on the ground.
Nope. No, and it's a close call there, but I think part of it was his foot just slipping and moving, and they'll get you for that.
Yep. But the Wolverines up 1, 15-14, and that is unless it took too much time. I think it's 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
That might have been one of those, not to speculate, but one of those refs like, yeah, we know we maybe got that travel call wrong.
Yeah.
Give him a little nice.
This ref is definitely, he does not like the body language of the players so far today. But you know what? Hey, it's basketball.
You know, that's one of the things you watch basketball. You're trying to get those fouls. You know,
Yeah.
both teams are sitting at 4 right now too. You want to draw a foul on one of these teams. Expect to see Hopkinton drive to the hoop like they are right here.
Well, that's going to be a free layup put back by Patrick Riley to give the Hillers a 1-point lead, 16-15. 41 seconds remaining here in the first.
It's been a back and forth so far.
Ortiz, a little spinorama, kicks it over to Rodman. And that is good. Beautiful shot by Rodman, 15-footer. Give Westwood a 1-point lead. Back and forth, swapping 1-point leads. And outside three, open. Rims out. Rebounded, and then great block by Ortiz. Ortiz, gonna pull up. No! Over to Zaneski, Rainbow. Off the front rim. And Buckets comes down with it. 3 seconds, he's got to get rid of it. 2, pull up. Oh, off the back rim.
Close. He almost had that. That would have been impressive. This gym would have erupted, but Westwood comes away with the lead.
They certainly do. So Wolverines come away with a 17-16 lead. Robert Liriano Alejandro, 6 points. Ty Pindell, 5 points. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back for the start of the second quarter, watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Boys Basketball.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. I wasn't the star quarterback or the Tri-Valley League MVP. I was the guy in the back of the room, learning from the best, filling in where my team needed me. And as a team, we won 2 Super Bowl championships. These years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, the backups, the younger players, they complete the team. And that's the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, built on discipline, sacrifice, and trust, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, not just the All-Stars, but every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me, it built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. As we mentioned, senior night, 5 seniors. They all starting 5 tonight. And we got the banners. That's been something pretty cool. Is a nice memento is the banners. Bring home and
Nice little poster.
keep at the house.
Yeah.
Maybe throw a signature on it too.
Sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Those are nice. I wish
See.
I had those.
It'd be pretty cool. I mean, we could get some banners for you and Tom for the commentary booth for the Dedham Savings broadcast booth.
Yes, the Dedham Savings broadcast booth. Thank you, Dedham Savings. They are terrific sponsors of the program, and the impact already felt with these beautiful headsets. These headsets are fantastic.
We were able to get the 2 ears, so now you and I can, normally when we do games in the past, it was kind of a struggle here, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we had to bump it up really loud, but we got both ears. We can hear better. I imagine next year come volleyball time, these would be great.
Quality too.
They are.
Oh, that was a nice pass, and finds its way in off the hands of Connor McNally. Hiller's doing a good job passing. Westwood's got to hurry up. They're a little lackadaisical on the inbound as time was ticking off the clock. We already saw 1 5-second today. They also got to get it across half court in 10 seconds, and then go through the hands of Zaneski.
The thing too is Westwood isn't playing the press defense, and Hopkins not letting up even into the second, quarter here. So for Westwood, they're keeping their press so well defended that they're not finding the opportunities. They're getting their best looks off these fast break attempts, off these turnovers.
Zaneski gets the steal. Rodman working it up. Over to Ortiz. He splits a couple defenders and a nice pull-up jumper. He gets on the board. He had a massive game versus Norwood the other night. Ortiz, best of the season. And a blocking foul called on Westwood. Hiller's going to have an opportunity for 2 and a foul. The old school 3-point play.
You know, I'd be really curious to see the breakdown for Westwood between shots off of where they inbound it versus shots off of points off of turnovers, rather. Excuse me.
I know.
Because they are when Westwood gets the turnover, Hopkinton doesn't press. They rush back to defend the hoop, which makes sense. That's what you do on a turnover. But right here, you're going to see it. They're going to play the press. They're going to defend that Westwood inbound. They're going to put 2 guys here on Robin at some point. And I guess I was wrong there, but versus off the turnovers, Westwood's getting clean looks.
Yeah, they get a lot of they cause a lot of turnovers, and they make a ton of points off it. So I completely agree. As that put away is off the hands of Gavin Cho. That gives the Hillers a 4-point lead.
This is dangerous for the Wolverines here. It's been back and forth so far, but the last thing either of these teams want to do is let one of these teams get on a run where you're going so back and forth. The points are at a premium right now.
Robert, he pulls up. That looked good from here off the front rim. Rebound by the Hillers.
It's good. Just didn't take a Westwood friendly bounce there.
Another 3 attempt, and that is good. Hillers feeling their game.
Hopkinton's found their groove.
Honor to win.
Here it is, that 2-man press.
Wolverines, I know as passes, Ortiz kicks it out. Zaneski looking for 3. Oh, that looked good. That was another look good.
I'm not a basketball expert. I know you probably don't change who inbounds and who you throw to, because I know Ty isn't really a point guard of sorts. But I wonder if you maybe have Ty start taking the inbounds. He is a quarterback. He has the accuracy. They're forcing the Wolverines to make those accurate passes.
Oh, Robert with the left hand. He is not afraid of hitting the wood hard. I mean, he hits the court pretty darn hard throughout games, just to drive it to the hoop. Fearless, absolutely fearless. And you can hear, his knee or his elbow hit the court. It's loud.
Well, you notice too, you see his shoulder taped up too, but you got to be fearless. This is a hard physical sport. If we've learned anything watching basketball, it's going to be, I believe, a Westwood connection. It's a physical game. These guys are driving the hoop, landing on hardwood floor, just like full contact. It's like, I imagine it hurts. I mean, if I fell on this hardwood, I'd be down for days.
Yeah, these guys. Well, you got to be in good. They got to, look at Rob. He looks like, he's a Marine, the type of shape he's in.
Yeah.
So that helps. I mean, as Rob drives, and that's a foul on the Hillers. Nice job by Rob driving in the paint to draw the foul.
Well, I was going to say, you say Rob looks like a Marine. It probably helps when you have a former Marine as your head coach, and Ryan Douglas. And,
that's Coach Leibrock as well.
Of course.
Is, not a Marine, but, Coach Douglas said he's as tough as any Marine he knows.
Yeah, so it's, you train under coaches like that, and it's, you can see it. Hopkinton's a well-trained team, and Westwood's keeping up. Westwood has not slowed their game. They're managing to keep up with this pace, and that's a big thing. Training's huge in basketball. It's about conditioning and stamina. How long can you go? I don't think we've seen Bobby Buckets off the court at all this game, to be honest with you. I don't think he's been subbed out.
I don't think he's been tired.
He doesn't look it. He doesn't look tired. So, and he's still in there making turnovers.
Robert kicks it out to Ortiz. Ortiz work it over towards Pindell. Pindell pump, and then an open Rodman for 3. Off the side of the rim. Lipton is chasing after the rebound, still loose. Hiller's able to get their hands on it. They have the possession. Joe going lefty. That's short. Ortiz picks it up but loses it. Ends up in the hands of Osherman. Out of bounds, Westwood ball.
I think worth mentioning too, I don't think it actually is, but the floor is slick tonight. This game in particular, I noticed a lot of more players falling down, a lot more players tripping. I don't know if it's just, something to do with the night, or the weather outside, the temperature, but, it's been slick.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of people in here too, so that makes it nice and warm. And
That's going to be
that's out of bounds on the Wolverines. That's the impact that the full court press does, especially when you're double teaming. The ball, whoever is moving the ball up you run out of real estate.
Absolutely. And, you know, I wonder too, when is Westwood going to start to maybe move to that full court press? You know, typically I think we see them do that when teams are getting out to a bit of a lead, you know, 8, 10-point lead. You kind of see that. I think we saw that a little bit.
With some numbers, looking to take advantage as, you know, they had an aggressive Hopkinton defense. Ortiz pulls up. Coming away with it is the Hillers. Trying to push the pace. Very high-paced game so far. A lot of turnovers, not by sloppiness, but just both teams going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Ganson gets a hand on it, goes out of bounds. Westwood ball. Great effort by the senior. He gets praise from Coach Ryan Douglas.
Yes, you know, if you can get, when you get the steal off them, if you can get it just off, you know, the Hillers' kneecap there and off their leg or off their foot, whatever it could be, that's possession for you. That helps, you know, you need to start getting a lot of these turnovers on Hopkinton and capitalizing with points. You know, see Westwood here set up an offense, see a play they can run and maybe get 2.
As the Wolverines down 3 with 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Ortiz going to slow it down.
Yep. Over to Pindell. Pindell to Lipton. Lipton in a battle. And a foul called before. That's going to be on the Hillers.
I want to jinx it again, Morgan, but 3 fouls in the second quarter already for between both teams. We saw, I think it was like 4 to 3 at this point in the first quarter. So it's been a cleaner second half, but I know by me saying that I've probably just changed the course of this game.
Some quick ones coming.
I mean, this is the time to do it, though. You know, this is the time to get the fouls.
I see it's out on the Wolverines. I don't agree with that one.
From my angle, too, I saw it was a reach-in from the Hillers.
Yeah. It looks like it was cut and dry.
Granted, we aren't biased at all, but
no.
But
Hillers have it with 3-point lead. So they're looking to add to it. Wolverines looking for a stop. To get their momentum going. It's been kind of back and forth the whole game so far. Both teams have had small runs. That ball knocked loose out of bounds on Westwood.
Yep, just off of.
Both teams have had many runs, you know, where 4 points here, 6 points here, then the other team scores 4, chips away. No team's really run away with it yet. Besides, I guess maybe the Hillers had a 7-point lead at one point early, but.
Yeah, but Westwood came back and had a 7-point run of their own to, you know, bring it back to get a 1-point lead. So for both teams, it's a matter of.
Oh, Robert with a block. Looked like Riley had eyes for the hoop, and then Robert came out of nowhere to block that. That's going to be a Westwood ball. What a block by Robert.
It's huge, you know. You don't want to let them get out. If either one of these teams lets the other team get out to a 4, 5, 6-point lead, that could be the difference in this type of game. We're in a shootout right now, and Westwood needs to get some defensive stops, but also capitalize on some of these offensive plays.
Ganson for 3. Got it!
That's huge. Huge by the senior.
Ganson doesn't shoot often, but when he does, he gets a big roar out of the crowd and a timely 3 for the Wolverines to tie it up at 26 apiece. Baz Ganson, the epitome of a Wolverine. Quiet kid, but makes big impacts on the game.
Jump ball going to go for the Wolverines now. That's huge.
That's a big turnover. And looking to add to the most recent momentum with the 3. The Wolverines, they move the ball up the court. Ortiz going to inbound. Finds Robert. Robert gets it across half court. He's driving to the hoop, has a couple on him. Oh, in and out. Can't believe that was not a foul.
What a bucket that would have been. He just drove through 4 of the 5 Hiller players.
Circus. He had 3 guys on him, took contact from 2.5. And on they go. Robert having himself a first half though. 3, 6, 8, 10 points in the first half for Robert Liriano Alejandro.
And he's played this entire game so far, and he does not look a bit tired.
Ganson gets a hand on it, goes out of bounds.
You gotta learn his secret for energy.
He looks like he could run a marathon. He's been playing at a very fast pace the whole first half.
Ty Pindell too. I don't think he's come out either.
No. 3 for the Hillers. That's off the rim. Pindell goes up and gets it. He shows off the ups there. Ganson gets hit, knocked on the ground, and a foul called on Ganson. Excuse me, on the Hillers.
Third one for the Hillers so far. They're not really in foul trouble, but
Ryan Douglas does not like that foul, and the ref doesn't like his feedback. This ref doesn't have much patience. He's all game. He's been, you know.
if I was a ref,
pretty
I probably
emotional.
wouldn't either. I can't blame him.
Well, at some point, if I reach a point, you know, I'd say, okay, it's been a good run. As the Hillers get the rebound, tied up 26 apiece. Defense chance coming out of the Wolverine den. That shot is good for 3. That puts the Hillers up 29-26.
Wolverines got to look to get something here on offense to keep this game close.
Connor Nguyen, who's had a bunch of points so far for the Hillers. I mentioned during the hockey game on Saturday, I said Westwood and Hopkinton, 2 teams that are not afraid to wear the color green after Labor Day. Nope. And Coach Ferrari, he loved that one. But these are 2 teams that, you know, you don't see too many green teams.
No, not really.
The Hillers really go for like the Miami colors, you know, so the University of Miami colors. As shot clock winding down 2. Riano able to get the front rim, but no good. Away with it is McNally, and the Hillers will have the last shot. 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. Looking to add to their 3-point lead. 4 seconds, 3. Cho makes it with the clock expiring, and the Hillers will go into halftime with a 5-point lead. And, you know, Evan, as we mentioned, hey, it's senior night, you have your distractions. You're expecting to maybe come a little bit slow out of the gate. They did, but were able to still come back and take a lead. But the focus, you know, has been spotty at times and then sharp at times, you know, looking for a little bit more consistency.
It's going to be a shootout no matter how we dice this up. The biggest thing is to not let one of these teams get out to too much of a lead. Like you mentioned, it's been sharp and spotty at times. The big thing is a lot of these buckets here, in these like stretches in the quarters, they aren't falling. They aren't just going the Westwood way. So the big thing is converting on those opportunities for the Wolverines and being able to match the intensity. The Hillers are a well-conditioned, well-trained team. They're fast. I think this is one of the fastest teams we've seen all year. So for the Hillers, it's just a matter of continue to play your game. For the Wolverines, can you continue to play your game?
No question about it. We'll take a quick break, folks. Hillers up 31-26 on the Wolverines. Some homework left. They'll talk through it, and we'll be back to start off the second half.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. I wasn't the star quarterback or the Tri-Valley League MVP. I was the guy in the back of the room, learning from the best, filling in where my team needed me. And as a team, we won 2 Super Bowl championships. These years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, the backups, the younger players, they complete the team. And that's the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, built on discipline, sacrifice, and trust, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, not just the All-Stars, but every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me, it built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Oh, welcome back, Evan. Talk about stealing the show.
Listen, you have a halftime show like that, you got to come out and feel energized if you're the Wolverines.
Setting the second half tone.
Yep.
They just rocked it. Literally, I don't think too many people left, the stands for halftime, and they were captivated.
Yeah.
What a job. A fantastic job. And, that was the best aux chord music I've heard in the gym in a while.
I know.
They have the secret chord. I don't know where the chord came from.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't heard it. When Jay plays his tunes, it usually isn't that loud. I think Jay needs to pump it a little more.
I was going to say, Jay's tunes are usually from microphone to Jay's tunes are usually microphone to phone.
Yeah.
It just straight up, put the microphone right by the phone.
Maybe they haven't given Jay access to it. Maybe it's hidden somewhere, and all these years they've let Jay.
Well, he might be on probation after his text messages were going off during the national anthem last year.
Yeah, that was quite the moment, and I think I still have that clip, honestly.
That was a classic clip.
I kept it.
I forget what game that was.
It was a girls' game. It was girls' basketball, because the funniest part about that clip was you see it's sort of like a Renaissance painting where you see it happen in real time. You have the refs. They were like, you see Jay kind of freak out. You see the girls in the basketball team were kind of laughing in the background, like, oh, that's funny, and it's kind of fun to watch. But no, I'm sure Jay's going to get his chance to aux here in a second. We'll see how what he puts on for tunes, but always fun to see the difference too in the tune selections between the PA announcers.
Yes.
We have Jay's tunes, and then you have Matt Gillis, DJ Matt as we call him during the hockey games.
Oh.
You have when Siebert, I don't know if Siebert does it, but Bill Siebert, when he's PAing, there's a different set of tunes. It's always fun to see
like the show tunes, every now and then. Yeah.
He's got the good,
A lot of copyrights on the music. From the boys hockey games.
Yeah, it's usually more of a pain for me in the editing process, but the Joker and the Thief, when the start of the third period in hockey, always gets you pumped up before the puck drop. They've been doing the old 90s Bowls music. I can't think of the name.
I played it today for the girls swimming.
Yeah.
They had the sectionals today, and they had a fantastic day at the sectionals.
Yeah.
As they had multiple finishes and relay teams finishing in the top 5. Fantastic sectionals. You're talking about like the best of your, north or south. I think it was the south the Wolverines are in.
Yep.
Every now and then they'll throw them in the north for whatever reason. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is to where you fall in the sectionals, but they had themselves a day, and we want to celebrate that. So shout out to the girls swimming.
Absolutely, and both teams back on the court here now, and getting ready for the second half. Expected to be an intense one.
Yeah.
The Wolverines, they have a 5-point deficit right now, but it's a matter of just, can they start to find their groove on offense? It'd be interesting to see how they come out here at the 5 they have on the court when we come out here. Do we have the starters? Do we have our usual starting 5 with Rodman and Ortiz back in the lineup? Or do we have maybe more of a 3-point oriented lineup? Do you maybe see Zaneski come out and start? Keep a guy like Pindell in, and a guy, you're going to keep Ortiz and
good call. I mean, I didn't
Bobby
think
Buckets.
about a guy like McGowan, who, when he comes to games, he makes his impact felt. He's a kid that can certainly create a spark off the bench, especially with those catch and shoots, those quick catch and shoots right in front of the hoop. He helps out on the rebounding front too. We haven't seen John Power yet too. He's certainly a kid that can make an impact on a game. He started the other night versus Norwood. So it's there's a lot of stuff that I'm sure is being considered. But ultimately, I'm sure the message at halftime is, guys, it's a 5-point lead. We need to come out with purpose here in the second half. One of our goals at the beginning of the year is a Tri-Valley League championship, and we have it within reach. It is right there in front of us, but it's not given to you. It's not thrown in your lap. You have to go out. You have to earn it. Yeah. So you have to go out, and you got to win the second half if you want a shot at that. If you want a shot at that, you have to win tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, like we said in the beginning of the game, it's a tie for first right now between Westwood and Dedham, and Dedham's coming here Tuesday. That's going to be a tough team to face no matter what. So each game is crucial here for the Wolverines. You know, you're not in a situation like last year where you kind of, you know, not that they didn't have anything to lose, but, you know, you were down at a certain point and it looked sort of like you were out. You're never mathematically out of it, but it looked that way.
Yeah.
And now you're in this position where you're in control right now of the TVL. So the big thing is, you know, for the TVL, for the Tri-Valley League, you gotta, you know, take it, essentially. It's right there, but you have to be the one to take it. Right now, Hopkinton's trying to take it.
Yeah.
So, you know, a win tonight for the Wolverines means that they're setting up a potential TVL championship Tuesday. A loss could be the difference, you know? That could be Dedham's clinching game versus what could have been a championship. So, for the Wolverines, you know, I don't know how much that's on the mind of Coach Douglas, because he seems like he's the type of coach that's focused on the game in front of him and focused on winning the game, and, you know, the rest will follow. But I'm sure he probably mentioned it a bit to him. Hey, this isn't more than just tonight, you know. So use that as motivation.
Yes, this is where. What kind of team are you going to be? Are you going to be the team that, you know, finds a way to get it done, or are you going to be the team that, you know what, it's 50-50 in these type of games? You want to be the team that's known for pulling away. You get, you know, if you go down, you get back in and you pull it away and you close out the game. That's how you win playoff basketball. As
we have
you get a whistle.
Kids on the court.
And we are. That was a good call. It looked like a couple youngsters on the court.
I think that's
there's some Bobby
Larry
Bucket jersey.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
yes.
that's some.
Reminder,
And we have the Parisha reminder. Just wanted to see their
Now,
hero
good
up
call.
close.
You don't want anyone to run into anyone, you know.
No, understandable. It's all about, you know, there's a lot of, you know, one of the great things about these basketball games too is they get a lot of the youth involved. You see a lot of these youth games, the youth program, the WBA, showing out. You have the support from the youth dancers we saw earlier. So it's great to get the kids involved early, but, you know, obviously there's a lot of kids running around. They don't, you know, happens. I'm sure we've all run on a court. One of my.
And they were just waiting to go off where a big play, the Wolverines can get the next bucket. And a smart play by Liriano Alejandro. He was chasing that down, just let it go out of bounds. It kind of took an angle where the Hillers couldn't get to it. But the next points are, you know, you want to start off hot here in the second half. 5-point deficit for the Wolverines. You want to be able to tie that up pretty quickly.
Yeah, you want to, not only you want to tie it, you want to stop some of that Hopkinton offense. You want to slow them down, not let them get those threes. That's really where they've been hurting the Westwood defenses, on those threes. When they take threes, that's a high percentage shot for them. I'd be interested to see the actual percentage at the end of this game.
Pass inside to Pindell, and that is good. That was interesting. I don't know if he had got the first attempt blocked, but able to keep his hands on it and then put that in the back.
I don't think he let go of that. I don't think he left his feet, which would not make it a travel.
Yeah, I didn't know what was, but it's good. It's a two-point layup for Pindell, and that makes it a 3-point game. Kickball.
Listen, if you're Westwood right now, you obviously want to take a lead as best you can, but if you can get this to even a 1-point game and get it back to the back and forth that we were at earlier, you know, that could be huge. This is, like we said all game, it's going to be a shootout, so.
Miller's inbounded. Puts the hands of Connor Nguyen. He's had himself a game. He's made a bunch of three-pointers. I feel like all in that same area, in that corner 3 spot on the far side.
The Hillers do like that left side of the court for threes. They kind of their sweet spot. I noticed if it's not in that corner right there from the front, it's on the edge of the...
Great job by Westwood D. They forced a turnover. The shot clock ran out. Pindell driving, draws a foul. And he's going to shoot 2 to look to tie it up. No, excuse me, to look to get within 1. As Wolverine still down 31-28. As mentioned, folks, Evan Cardamino, Morgan Donahue, Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Boys Basketball. It is early February, Evan. A couple weeks going to be pretty special when these games are going to mean something.
You know, the other thing, too, the Wolverines are fighting for right now that we haven't mentioned is home. Home advantage. Right now they're sitting at, I didn't check this morning, but as of Tuesday they were sitting at 19th, which is just a few games out of having one home game. So they're fighting for a home game. They're fighting, that is a big part of these games here. If you win out, the odds of you having, you know, a 16 seed, a 15 seed, and having a home game is huge. Now that we have a timeout, I'll actually take a look.
Yeah.
See if we can get some info.
So timeout called. Both teams going to talk through it, as it is a 1-point game. Hiller's up 31-30. And great start for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is exactly what you want. We're only a couple minutes in, but you haven't let them score. You've held them to where they were at coming into the second half, and you've been controlling the game. You're back to within one. That's what we talked about earlier, where you want to be, that sweet spot. So Westwood today sitting at 20th right now in the power rankings in Division II boys basketball. They would be facing right now, if the playoffs started today, number 13 Neshoba Regional in Neshoba, or I don't think it's in Neshoba, but at Neshoba Regional High School. And then Hopkinton, I believe, is Division I.
Yes.
And they are sitting at,
got an update in the girls' basketball game, Evan. The Hillers have a 1-point lead over Westwood, 37-36. So great effort by the Wolverine girls right now. Versus a very tough Hopkinton team on the road. That 3 is good for the Hillers to get back to a 4-point lead.
that's huge for the Hillers. They're just finding an answer every time Westwood gets a 4-point run, answers with a 3-pointer of their own to take that momentum away. So, you know, they're finding the answers. It's huge for the Hillers.
But court pass by Ganson to Pindell. Him driving, gets his own rebound, steals it. Over to Lipton, off the glass and good.
That's huge, a huge play by Pindell. He did not give up at all, and he kind of stayed in there, and he got the turnover, got it to...
That looked like a clean hand-on ball play. You're going to say it's a foul on Brady Lipton. Looks like he might have tweaked his leg a little bit on the play. You might see Ortiz just check in to just keep an eye on the leg.
So Morgan, update on the power rankings too. Hopkinton's sitting at 49th right now in Division I.
49.
That just tells you how many teams.
49?
Yeah, and they're a 9-17 with a win today. They're in the play-in tournament at the very least. So
That's wild when you get the play-in games.
yeah,
So and that's where you can't count out the home game opportunities, because you might be playing someone, you know, for a play-in game. I think Westwood had that a couple years ago.
they did. So, you know, there's a lot of opponents who have those opportunities. You know, I was looking at some of the opponents there, and a lot of those are not, you know, pushing 10 wins, but the Hillers are pushing 10 wins. A win tonight would get them into the tournament. So you have to imagine that's another reason why they're playing hard. They're not just fighting for the TVL, they're fighting.
Ortiz in the corner 3.
Huge for Ortiz. That's a big momentum swinger for the Wolverines.
And then again,
Just
Connor
finding
Gwynn,
an answer.
he has been on fire. He's got at least 20 points, just I think all threes.
Give the Hillers credit. They find answers when they need them most. But
Buckets.
Buckets is here.
Buckets with a pull-up jumper. His 12th point of the night.
Listen, Morgan, the lights are starting to get bright. Expect to see Bobby Buckets show up big.
Nice left hand finish there by Patrick Riley. He's been pretty active in the paint. A lot of layups, some good passing to him. Goes right back to their aggressive full court press. Pindell open. That looked good off the back rim. And Hiller's able to stay in bounds and move the ball effectively. A little bounce pass, and I believe a travel.
Yep.
Yes, travel.
Huge break for the Wolverines.
The travel gods. You taketh one and you giveth one.
You can't do that, chance of starting, but that's a huge break for the Wolverines. It was a 2-on-1 opportunity. Ortiz was down under the rim, but there's just nothing you can do in that situation. You either
Ortiz
cover
going
the guy or
airmail.
they take it.
And that goes out of bounds. The other coach wasn't disappointed by that. I think he liked kind of the look on that.
back down to this.
I think oh, it was on. Ortiz was trying to argue that it went off of the Hiller's fingertips.
I don't see
But
why
wouldn't
it's
it
on
be,
that.
wouldn't it be inbound on the other side then?
I would imagine if it was off their fingertips, that's fine, but it went out of bounds on the other hoop, so
Yeah.
I don't see how. I'm not a basketball expert. I would probably put it in.
My hockey mind does not know how to comprehend it. That's where I need to lean on Tom Lyden for all the basketball IQ stuff. He's getting ready for a Super Bowl this weekend.
He's enjoying the sun probably right now.
Yes.
Or well, probably what's left of it out, but he's enjoying a nice warm evening in Santa Clara. So
Dell with the 3 look. Does come away with it. And out of bounds. Jansen does a good job, good discipline there to allow that to go out of bounds.
it was close from this angle. I actually thought he got a finger on it, but you know, he smart play, pulled back. He saw what was happening, and Westwood possession.
Ortiz to Rodman.
Yeah, it really is impressive how much the Hillers has played press defense all game. Did they play press all game in that?
No. If they did, Westwood was just so effective on the movement as Robert. That ball is blocked. Chow got the block.
The Hopkinton bench is fired up.
Driving. That is short. Pindell on the rebound. Goes up to Robert. Robert's got a couple around him. Able to knock it in. They count it. Yes! Bucket and 1 for Liriano Alejandro.
Huge.
His 14th point, looking for his 15th point. You can't guard him, is the chant.
He's pretty accurate. He's pretty hard to guard.
And it is good. Completes the 3-point play. And we are tied 40-40. Joe driving. Oh, Rodman got a hand on the pass attempt. Block and then a foul as Andrew Boscheman was looking to put that away.
One of those.
They closed that door pretty quick. It looks like an open layup, and then Westwood players pretty much closed that gap very quickly to get some hands on in the area.
Yeah, Liriano Alejandro. You could tell he wanted to get a similar block to what we just saw a second ago, where you kind of bounce it off the backboard and hope one of your guys get it. Famously, LeBron James in the 2016 Finals did that
for Cleveland,
to save them. Yes, so. You know, but that is the problem when you try to take a block like that. The problem is it's usually a high foul type of play, and they're going to call it on the Hillers, I think, for
a little
moving
lane
on the
violation.
lane violation. Yeah, so huge break for the Wolverines again. Oh, and push off at 14 too.
Yeah,
a couple back-to-back
that didn't look like it went off his hand. It looked like more of a foul than anything, but I think it's it should be Westwood possession.
Of course.
He kind of pushed him.
Yeah.
He pushed him as he was passing it.
Trying to play that press. That's the problem with the press, is you lose the ball there, but
Westwood's got to get rid of it a second earlier. Oh, jeez. Great job by Robert to get hands on that and keep it in. As Wolverines looking to move it around, they have an open Ortiz up top. Good! Timeout call! 3-point lead for the Wolverines, 43-40 after the Ortiz 3, and they're fired up.
Adrian Ortiz doing Adrian Ortiz things. That's a huge 3 to give the Wolverines their first lead since the first quarter.
I was going to say, Evan, it's the point in the game now where you got to see your guys really start to show the clutch gene. You know, that gene that, hey, when the lights are bright, when the game's on the line, those guys that want it, they want that compete level, they want that big bucket, they will find a way. It doesn't matter, double teams or whatever, they make it happen.
Absolutely, and you got a few guys on that bench with ice in their veins. Bobby Buckets famously against Norwood last year here, live on Westwood Media Center, a bucket to win the game. Ortiz there, huge bucket. Ty Pindell, the Holliston game in football, that touchdown to pass to Keelan McDonald. These are guys that are just used to that high pressure situation.
Timmy Malloy.
You got guys like that You got guys.
Jaden Pollock.
Yep, you got, Westwood's one of those, they do a really good job of, they give you those moments where you have to be battle tested and ready to have the ice in your veins, and this is a team that has it. So as we get closer and closer to crunch time, we're already in crunch time, but as we get closer and closer to that final couple minutes here in the fourth quarter, it's going to be, you're going to see who steps up when the lights shine the brightest, and they're a little more intense. And as we get closer to March and we get closer to the end of February, they're going to get a little more brighter.
Yeah, and I was going to say Ortiz definitely, if you get his game going, that is when you're firing on all cylinders, because he can go off. He can go off. Like he can go 20 points, make big threes, timely threes, and that takes pressure off for everyone else too. Not saying that there's pressure on everyone else, but it allows people to shoot freely when you got, when you have 3-4 guys that can bury big time baskets. So Hiller's getting the answer to cut it within 1 point. Nice movement by Mariano Alejandro, pass to Pindell outside for 3. 4-point lead for the Wolverines.
From downtown.
12 points for Pindell. Hiller's off the glass, no good. Rodman gets the rebound. He gets the double team, but he's able to run through it. Passes to Lipton. Trying to shoot. He took some contact.
He wanted the foul there.
They're going to get a technical foul. Oh, my goodness. That official has been the guy we've been talking about all night, Evan.
Who got the technical there?
Robert.
Oh.
This guy's ridiculous. All night he's been. All night. Just don't like when you see the officials make it about themselves.
Yeah, I don't.
And it's hard to talk as a coach rationally, in those situations. But they're calling a technical foul in a 4-point game, and it's going to be pretty egregious to do that. And there we go. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie, folks.
And you got the Hopkinton player now talking to the ref, and I don't. I think both teams are a bit frustrated here with the officiating in this game, and you see number 3 for the Hillers a bit frustrated, not quite sure what's going on, but Robert looked almost confused. Unless Robert said something that obviously we can't hear it up here, I don't know what the tackle was on. I didn't see any sort of physical thing he did, so I'm not too sure what happened, but it's one of those things. It's one of those things that you have to kind of win in spite of,
You don't want to play 2 opponents, because Cho gets that one back. And from a 4-point lead now down to a 1-point lead. Wolverines up 46-45. Pass goes out of bounds, going to be the Hiller ball. Momentum in Hiller's side.
Yeah,
somewhat of it manufactured, some of it they've been able to capture.
Trying to manufacture a fun game, but we're going to get one regardless.
That ball goes out, kept in, and it's going to be a Westwood ball. So going to be an inbound for Ortiz.
The big thing too about Robert Liriano Alejandro is he's sitting at 3 fouls right now, and that can be a bit of a dangerous space. Now we're in the second half of the game, so it's not as dangerous, but you're 2 away from getting ejected from the game. So if you're Robert, I don't think he's going to slow his game down. Not in this situation, not with what's at stake right now. I don't think you're going to see him slow down or change his game, but you don't want to foul out too early and put your team at a disadvantage, whether you're Robert Liriano Alejandro or anyone on this team. So, you're going to have to start playing a bit cleaner.
Robert from the corner. Ortiz on the rebound, puts it away. 2 seconds, 1. Hiller's trying to beat the clock. No good.
Close.
And the Wolverines going to take a 3-point lead in the 4th quarter. It's a score of 48-45. But, credit to the Wolverines of keeping their cool there. I mean, I couldn't keep mine. But you know what? You got to stay focused with how the game goes. It's not just distractions with the team you play, but there's going to be whatever that happens throughout the game. But to stay focused, get the next one, and that's what they did. So we'll take a quick break, folks. Wolverines up 48-45. We'll be right back. Kick off the fourth quarter.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. I wasn't the star quarterback or the Tri-Valley League MVP. I was the guy in the back of the room, learning from the best, filling in where my team needed me. And as a team, we won 2 Super Bowl championships. These years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, the backups, the younger players, they complete the team. And that's the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, built on discipline, sacrifice, and trust, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, not just the All-Stars, but every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me, it built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. Westwood, 3-point lead over the Hillers. And this is kind of what you figured. Big TVL Large game. TVL Large on the line between Westwood and Dedham. If Dedham were to lose tonight, and Westwood were to win, they'd be what, the solo TVL Large champ?
They'd be in control of their own destiny at that point, Morgan. They'd have a one-game lead. They'd have a one-game lead over the Marauders at that point, and they'd be tied with Norwood and Holliston. So I actually am trying to, before this gets going, I am trying to get a quick. Can I check Arbor, see if maybe his score has been updated? Let's see if my I can race the ref here. I don't want to miss the start of the game. No score update yet so far, so something we'll keep an eye on. I don't know if there was a senior night in Norwood or night.
It's a good matchup. I mean, that was a different Norwood team the other night. I get a score update from the girls' game. Girls game, Hillers are up 43-38 on Westwood after 3 quarters, so they had a late start themselves, it sounds like. I'd imagine they had senior night over there too.
It's that season too. I think a lot of the winter teams in general tend to do their senior nights. As Ortiz gets a steal there and he drives to the hoop.
Gets blocked. Pindell on the rebound, puts it away.
Huge for Ty Pindell to be there to respond to that after a missed layup by Ortiz.
And then gets the rebound. He takes some contact, and I think they're going to call a foul on the Hillers. Yes. And Westwood will have the possession as after the Pindell points, they get back to a 5-point lead.
Ty Pindell has been all over the court tonight. He has been someone who has been showed up big when they need him. We've seen that all.
Robert, look at that. He hit the ground hard. He almost went all the way to the padding. He's going to shoot too. He earns the free throws. He's never had really free throws where it's like, hey, where he hasn't put his body on the line.
Yeah, he's willing to kind of, lay it all out and do what he needs to do to draw a foul, to get an and one. 7:23 here already in the
they call a timeout midway through his free throws.
Can you? Yes, you can do that. So
they're going to make him think about the second one.
Yeah, but.
But you know what? I can see it though. Like, you want to talk through after that bucket's made. What's the play? What's the play? With your defense, all that type of stuff. So.
Yeah, you got to figure out. This is a team that's high-powered. If you miss this shot, what do you do?
Yeah. Who's guarding who?
Yep.
What's the matchup? All of that. That's what it's all about. TVL basketball, 5-point game.
The best time of the year for sports, Morgan. It's getting close to Packed gym, we're getting close to the playoffs.
Yeah, we got some good teams. I mean, my goodness, we got 2 teams in the top 10. We got a number 2 team in girls hockey who might be having their best season, a better season they did last year.
And they're going to have a senior night tomorrow night as of when we're taping this, so that should be a good one too. That's live on Westwood Media
Live
Center.
on Westwood Media Center. It's going to be interesting. We'll be jumping between the booth up to the box,
Absolutely.
or from the penalty box to the booth. The second one, no good. And the Hillers have the ball. They'll cut into Westwood's 5-point lead. They've been sharpshooters. 3-pointers have been their choice of buckets. As they work it around, Joe over to Wynn. Wynn's been very dangerous. 3 from the outside on the far side. No good, rebounded by Wynn. Wynn back to Cho. Cho to Wynn. Wynn gonna shoot himself. That's short. Both teams balance for it and stay off of Ortiz. Hiller ball.
Another close one. Wasn't sure. I think could have been either off of either team, to be honest with you. But it was one of those things, high-paced thing. Perhaps Ortiz did get a finger on it, but it was close.
It's hard to tell. I mean, it's anyone's guess as good as ours. That pass aside, Pindell got a hand on it, but was there a foul on? Yes, foul on the Hillers as Rodman took some contact.
I was almost.
And is that the 3rd foul for the Hillers?
It is. That is a 3rd. That's a dangerous situation to be in with 6 minutes and 38. They were only a minute and a half into this fourth quarter. So that's, we saw this a couple weeks ago, I believe, in the Holliston game versus Westwood Holliston boys game. Same situation,
Rob's got 3 trying to track in on him. And effectively moves it across court. Ortiz pulls up. Bang! And that's what we were talking about, Evan. You get Ortiz making some big buckets down the stretch, and flexing that confidence muscle when it comes to the execution. That is a great recipe for the Wolverines. Out of bounds, though, call on Westwood.
He has stepped up when his team has needed him most, and it's showing here. Westwood out to a 7-point lead now.
Joe on the inbound. Give it over to Evie. Evie looking for some help. Back to Cho. Cho's got Ortiz and Pindell going to kick it outside for 3. That is no good. That was a shot from Alstrom Hall. He was his first shot, I think.
He's looking for a foul, and I don't think he's going to get it.
No.
I didn't see any contact. I think he just landed on his foot wrong, and close nonetheless. I think they're looking to try to draw a foul off the Wolverines.
It's the second time we've seen that tonight.
That's what happened. That's the issue that happens when you force a.
And the ball comes back again.
I don't know if that's the right. We'll have to talk to Coach after the game and get the actual rules explained to us, because I would fathom maybe it's because it does
wherever it goes out of bounds, but
maybe it's because it doesn't touch a Westwood player. That's the only thing I could think. If it goes out without making contact with Westwood.
3 and made 3 by number 23, Miles Heavey. It's got to be something like late in the game if you throw it out of bounds, like with a second left. That could open that. The other team has to go down the full court. They say no. If you're throwing it out of bounds, it's going to be brought back. As Hillers get a steal and one massive bucket by the Hillers.
It is back and forth.
Alstrom is going to have an opportunity to get within 1. Back and forth indeed.
Don't say we're not going to get a barn burner in this one.
Basket is good. Westwood 51, Westwood 52, Hillers 51.
But hey, this is what we kind of expect when Westwood and Hopkinton play. In every sport we see, these are 2 teams that want to beat each other. It's a rivalry, and it's a fun rivalry to watch.
Wolverines get it across half court. Rodman wide open for 3. Rebound by Leon Alejandro. Stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, he was just out with his, I believe, his left foot.
Hillers looking to get the lead back. Chow, Ortiz on defense. Chow makes a nice move for a clean layup. Give the Hillers a 1-point lead.
It has been deflating for the Wolverines here. Schlanwell can't find anyone. He finds Pindell, but
Pindell makes it. A tough shot, contested shot too, able to drain it.
much needed to slow the momentum for the Hillers.
1-point lead to 1-point lead. Hillers had the 1-point lead a second ago. Wolverines recaptured it. Rodman gets the rebound. 4 minutes, 30 remaining here at Bader.
Oh, and they try to.
Caught a piece of the Hiller player's hand, but able to recover was Rodman, as the Hillers still very aggressive on press defense.
Trying to force a backcourt almost as it goes off of Adrian Ortiz, but he gets it.
Able to collect himself. Pulls up, hits the front rim, rebound by Hillers. Josh Kim.
Yeah, you
Now
see the Wolverines playing
playing
press.
Purcell. Ortiz gets the turnover. Bang! Ortiz. Some late points. 2, 3, 10, 14 points for Ortiz. Turnover caused by Liriano Alejandro. Timeout called by Coach Douglas to Wolverines to keep the possession.
Smart timeout.
What a call. Evan's gonna need a,
Yep.
yes.
That's your first one?
Yeah. I didn't finish it.
No, you didn't.
No,
you caught
I
yourself. I'll give you
started,
that, but
yeah.
you got really close. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that. But
Third quarter.
hey, if Kathy Delaney Smith can swear, I guess we can swear.
That was great. That was a great call.
It was. I mean, listen, we talk about it all the time. Timeouts are huge, and if you can time it out perfectly. Bobby Buckets had 2 on him. He did not have the position nor the teammates to get a pass. They weren't going to let him up. I could tell just by looking at it, they were going to get the turnover.
I'm looking at the arrow too right now, and it would have been a Hiller ball.
Yep.
So huge call by Coach. I'm putting that on my notes for a possible post-game interview question.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like you had to be quick on it, and Coach Douglas was quick on it. I'm sure he probably doesn't want to use the timeouts, late here in this type of game, but at the same time, that is one of those ones where I think it's okay sacrificing a timeout to maintain possession in a 3-point game. Hopkinton is trying to steal the momentum from you, and they're trying to rip it from you. And it's one of those ones where even though we only have like 3 or 4 minutes left, or 3:48 left in this quarter, it's a good timeout.
Yep.
And the other thing that's really impressive is I do not know how this Hopkinton defense is playing at full speed press coverage.
Pindell driving. Unbelievable. And Coach is looking for a foul too. I don't blame him. That was a lot of contact for someone who had a nice lane to the hoop. And a loose ball, but I think this is going to the Hillers based off of us seeing the arrow after the timeout call. I think it will stay with the Hillers, but Westwood will get the next one.
And
You know who's been quiet tonight, Evan? The Mini Den.
I know, we haven't heard from them much.
Oh, quiet night for them. So the official's going to talk through this. Because it may not be a jump ball, it may have been a foul, who knows? So it's a jump ball.
There's some confusion now on the coach.
It is tied up in a jump ball.
So it's a jump ball. Westwood's going to get the next possession. This one goes to the Hillers. That's how I think, Evan. If it's not ours, we get the next one.
I do agree with that call there. I think that is a jump ball situation. Unfortunately, you're both on the ground. The alternative is a travel for whoever has possession.
Yeah.
So, you give up 2 points there, but, like you said, we have the next possession. I don't doubt that we're going to see another jump ball in this game with the way they're still continuing to play press coverage. It's impressive that they're still doing it. Bobby Bucket's wide open.
And he was looking to drive, but good job by the Hillers to close out any space that was there. But also it allows Westwood to settle it down, so a smart move by Robert. As the Wolverines 3-point lead, they want to certainly maximize their opportunities as we're under a minute here. Under 3 minutes here.
I was scared. I was like, really?
Yeah. Ortiz in the corner. Off the side rim.
They're going to get
foul
Lipton.
on Westwood. Maybe a foul on Lipton.
you say though too, under a minute, it feels like it. It really does feel, no matter with the time on the clock, it feels like they're playing like we're under a minute. It's felt like that this entire second half. The urgency these teams are playing with. So, you know, expect to see it. Hopkinton's now playing much more urgently. They've slowed down. They haven't given a foul up since 6:30 on the clock.
Robert goes up and gets it. He
You know,
has got some serious ups. He was up by the rim to get that rebound. That's a big rebound.
I think it's an interesting strategy. The Wolverines are going to let the clock kind of wind here. You know, they're in their zone. They're going to just let the...
Well, when you got a guy like Robert who can score from anywhere,
Yeah.
and there we go. Nice shot behind the three-point arc. That's off the front rim and rebound by the Hillers. Hillers have 2 to Westwood's 1. But Robert does a good enough job to take away the angle, force a difficult layup. He's driving to the hoop, has a couple defenders closing in who steal the ball. Cho now going the other way. He's going to throw it, but off the leg of his teammate, out of bounds, off of McNally's leg, Westwood ball.
Huge. And the thing about that, too, is we just saw 3 turnovers back to back to back. No point change. So Westwood now has run off
Killed clock.
40 seconds of clock from where I mentioned my previous time comment to now, and they still have that lead. And as the clock continues to tick, it's more time. They're in more control. They're driving this game right now, but you still like to see them get some points. Looking for a foul there. I heard some contact off of Lipton's wrist, but no call there.
They are taking their time.
I don't, you know, and I like it now. It's, you know, a minute 23 left on the clock, and Bobby Bucket's going to drive.
Pulls up, off the back rim. Westwood gets the rebound. Buckets again, side rim. Lipton! It's the rebound, second attempt. Yes! Puts it back! He gets a fist pump from Coach Douglas. Brady Lipton, pride of the maze. Short street with a big-time bucket to put Westwood up 5. A minute 4, timeout called, and they're going to talk through it.
Huge, huge play by Lipton. Not 1, not 2, 3 rebounds, puts it away, gets them now a 5-point lead with a minute 4 on the clock. Now, if you're Hopkinton, you're now in a situation where you have to start using your fouls.
Yeah.
You have 3, but at what point do you have to start fouling Westwood to get maybe the chance of getting a rebound? Those situations are hard to come back from. So if you're Hopkinton, expect to see number 3. I don't have the roster in front of me, Morgan, but number 3.
Alstrom Hall looking for a 3.
I think you're going to see him looking for a 3.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see Wen looking for a 3.
Wen, yeah.
I think you got to watch those 2 guys if you're the Wolverines. But if you're Westwood, thank you. If you're Westwood, keep driving it in. Drive it in. Take your time. You're in control of this game right now with a 5-point lead late. This is huge. We talked about this earlier in the game. If you have a 4 or 5-point lead late in this game, that could mean all the difference. And I think that's the situation we're in right now.
It is crunch time. I believe 47 seconds. We'll see when the clock. Nope, minute 4. Minute 4 remaining. Wolverines are up 5. Hiller's going to have the inbound. Wynn's going to inbound it. He's very dangerous from behind the arc. Hiller's looking to draw up their play. Cho driving in the paint. Pulls up, draws a foul and 1. That's exactly what you're looking for at the Hillers. He'll have an opportunity to make a free throw to make it a 2-point game.
I wonder if they intentionally bounce on the rim and try to get a rebound on it.
No.
I've seen it before.
Yeah, usually with 2 seconds left. And Lipton with a big rebound. That is a huge rebound.
And now not trying to foul him. Interesting.
Oh, well, they
got 3 now, so I guess they're more confident.
They're looking to get a steal.
I understand.
But yeah, you can afford to do a foul and not have Westwood shoot. You have 1 foul to use. But they're gonna let Westwood run that clock down. Westwood calls a timeout. Smart call, so they can talk through a drawn-out play with the last 10 seconds left on the shot clock, 30 left in the game clock. But 10 seconds on the shot clock, you want to maximize this. You want to make this a 2-possession game.
Absolutely, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for the foul there, honestly. I mean, like, usually that is the situation. You know, they let it run down to 30 seconds off that, it's 25 seconds off that foul shot. So, you know, I mean, I think what it says to me, though, is I think it tells me that Hopkinton's coach, Coach Keene, he is confident in that team. That he doesn't.
I was going to say, I think he thinks they're going to get a stop.
Yeah, I mean,
and he wants to use those fouls for, you know, after the Westwood possession.
Right, and that makes sense. You know, you don't want to, if you're that confident in your team and you know your team can do it, it says a lot about your team. And this is a really good Hopkinton Hillers team. I think what you're going to see here is if it doesn't happen in these next 10 seconds, the next possession Westwood gets, you'll start to see it. We'll start to go to the foul game. But, you know, if Westwood gets a couple points here, even if they drop a play and they can get 2, 3 even, it's going to be an uphill battle for the Hillers.
30 seconds left. Wolverines up 3.
He was a whole zip code away from the line, Morgan. I don't
know what is going on tonight, but I'm just going to keep my mouth quiet.
I don't.
There had to have been something like, we just don't know. Timeout called by the Hillers.
Morgan, I think he was in a different area code. Right?
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. I don't know if he went out of bounds and then back in bounds. That may have been what it was.
That could be.
But I don't know, so I don't know.
I didn't claim to be a basketball expert,
nope.
So.
But,
I'm sure there's plenty of people watching right now who are like, oh, what does this guy know? But,
yeah, this guy stick to hockey. The hockey guy. You know who's a hockey guy?
No.
Jay Risha.
He is. He was the other night.
He was fantastic. We're getting people texting in the middle of the game saying, Scott Blomquist saying, this is great.
Yeah, he did good.
I love Jay. We were talking a lot of old school Westwood together, you know.
I was listening back to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had some good conflict. Jay did a good job. You know, it's a different medium for him. It's you know, he's used to doing the PA, and it's a very sort of, when you do PA, it's a sort of matter-of-fact thing, you know. It's like, oh, like, three-pointer from Robert Liriano Alejandro versus, you know, when you're up at the booth with us, it's a little more, you gotta fill space a little bit. You gotta have a conversation. We mention all the time, sometimes it's like a mini podcast, so.
Well, yeah.
You know, it's
well, look at the mini den is starting to get on their feet.
Love it. You love to see the den get energized, you know, especially right now here with 22 seconds left. Westwood's not going to foul either. They're confident in letting the boys play. You love to see it. That's what you want to see.
Joe driving. Westwood got a piece of that. Lipton had the initial piece. Loose ball picked up by the Hillers. They're trying to find an open player. Westwood giving them no space. Clock is winding down. 5 seconds. Working its way out of bounds. 3 seconds. Steps out of bounds. And it's a Westwood ball. Great defense by the Wolverines as the Hillers are scrambling, looking for an open look.
Oh, no. No, he got a timeout.
He got a timeout? Yeah. Coach Douglas. Coach Douglas, like, there's no way.
I don't know who.
What I can say about that is that you have a great angle on that for the replay.
I'm gonna have to look at it. But if Coach Keene got a timeout in time, that's.
If he called a timeout, it was when the ball wasn't in his player's hands because that ball was going out of bounds.
That was. We have 2 seconds now. We couldn't have asked for a better way to end this game, huh? It all comes down to this for a chance to fight for the TBL large. The den is on their feet.
Alexis Alejandro over there riling up the den. He's got a little GoPro kind of camera.
I wonder, Morgan, if we will see a storming of the court this evening. I would imagine they're itching at this point. See the mini den up there too in the top left-hand corner of your screen for our viewers.
Yep. That's hysterical. Those guys are going to be ready to go come freshman year. They're all 8th graders up at the middle school. Covered their football games this year.
Yep.
They had a heck of a season. I see Minnie O'Malley. I see Minnie Martucci. I see Calix.
Congratulations to Murphy O'Malley too. Just committed to Holy Cross for football. So another Division I football player from the Westwood Wolverines.
Football U we got right here.
It all comes down to this.
That's Cho going to have the inbound for the Hillers. Westwood all manned up. And now timeout called by Douglas. Love to see it. So he wanted to see what the Hillers going to draw up, and absolutely mind games.
Use that timeout, get in their head, yeah.
Make them think about it a little more, and
Almost like icing the kicker in football.
make the coach think a little bit. Are we going to do the same thing? Or we do something different, you know? Because he probably was thinking, I'm going to give my best play. Now, do you go with your best player, or do you go with play 2A? You know, who knows? But I love the mind games. It's a chess match going on, the game within the game.
I'm of the mindset you don't send your best play in that situation. If you're
And
If
Jay
you know-
Risha goes to Journey. Gotta love to see it.
Gotta
Sorry,
love
Evan.
it. But you know, if you know that, if you have an inkling that this is the type of situation where a coach might do that, don't send your best play.
Yeah.
Fool them.
Yeah.
Play that mind game too. It's a chess game.
Yep.
So don't show them the best thing you have. And then here, if I'm Coach Keene, I'm sending the best play I have, and I'm doing the best play I have, and I'm getting it in Wen's hands. That is sort of what I think they're going to go for today.
Either Cho
or Wen.
I mean, I think Cho, because he's the guy inbounding, because you underestimate what he's going to do after he inbounds it.
That's
But,
true.
you know, who's covering him? No one's covering him, so when he inbounds it, he'll be probably wide open. Yeah, and there he goes. Cho's going to shoot, but there's a whistle before the shot. He stepped out of bounds.
Oh, that's
Westwood
huge.
ball. Westwood ball. He stepped out of bounds with 1.3 remaining on the clock.
1.3. They just need to get a clean pass in, and that's it.
This is where that long pass will work, as long as it stays inbounds for a second. And he passed it to Pindell, who's pushed out of bounds with .2, and a foul call on the Hillers.
I got to give a shout out to
He's gonna
Nelson on the
shoot.
clock. He is precise with that.
Yes. Warm the buses being chanted. It used to be just warm up the bus back in the day. It's changed since 20 years back.
They've gotten a little more creative with it, but if you're Adrian Ortiz, you just need to
And
throw it in.
heave-ho pass to Lipton, and
That's
the Wolverines come away with the win on senior night. And the crowd is on their feet.
What a hard-fought battle.
Big win for the Wolverines, which we don't know what the math is just yet from the Dedham game, but Tuesday night certainly going to be a big night for the Wolverines and an opportunity for a back-to-back TBL championship. So
It's a huge game for the Wolverines. You know, you're fighting now for potentially a TBL championship. You know, we'll see the results from Norwood, Dedham, maybe later tonight. But you know, for the Wolverines, you did what you needed to do. You got back on track here. You know, coming into this game, you were on a 2-game losing streak. You're back on track. You're now in the fight for the TVL Large. I know that's something that they're focused on, defending their title from last year. As you can see, the Den now joining on, and they're celebrating. But it's going to be a huge game here on February 10th at the Bader Gymnasium.
get out here, folks, and support the Wolverines as they look to clinch a TBL Large championship back-to-back years. That'll be the first time in quite some time. We'll have to do the math on that. But, folks, thanks for tuning in. Wolverines 60-57 winners over the Hopkinton Hillers. And from Evan Cardamino and Morgan Donahue, we'll see you all again soon, folks, and have a great night.